Hi, I'm Tim Ford. I'm a product specialist for combines here, John Deere. Here to talk about the 2025 harvest automation and then 26 updates as well. So in 2025, we had a big leap forward in terms of harvest automation. And the two big headliners of that ultimate tech package were predictive ground speed automation and harvest settings automation. So starting with predictive ground speed automation, what this feature does is take predictive inputs to make sure that your ground speed is optimized for your spot in the field, right? So in the past, we've had other solutions for this, but this is looking out ahead of the combine. The two ways it does that, the two predictive inputs that it uses, are the forward cameras. So they're paired stereo cameras that are looking about 28 feet or so in front of the cutter bar, and it's going to know what the crop height is coming into the machine. It's also going to know not only how tall is that crop, but also if it's down or lodged, right? Because in those circumstances, an operator will need to slow down to take in that crop. So the system will know to slow down to do that. In addition to the forward cameras, it's also going to utilize satellite views. And so those satellite views are taken during the growing season. You can see in this visual here represented with the satellites looking at vegetation during the growing season. It's sent to the combine, and then during harvest, the combine correlates those vegetative indexes and makes sense of the predictive yield in the field. So what does that mean for you as an operator? Is that the automation is going to know, again, what the yield is coming into the machine. And so it pairs those two systems together. The forward cameras are going to know real-time, late season events, things like that, whereas the satellite views are going to know during the growing season, and it pairs those strengths together. So if you're ever in dusty conditions, things like that, where the cameras aren't working, you have your satellite views to rely on. Moving over to the harvest settings automation. So you have your predictive ground speed automation. That's going to give you up to 20% productivity increases, but you need to make sure as an operator that you're still getting good grain loss, form material, and broken grain while you're getting that productivity increase. So the way this system works is that it uses limits defined by the operator. We're trying to match the mental model of an operator, of a farmer. We're focusing on outcomes, and then the automation takes it from there. It focuses on the inputs to the system. So right when you pull in the field, you're going to know based on your location, crop type, machine form, things like that, you're going to get really good starting settings for your area. And then from there, you tell it, hey, I think my limit for grain loss should be this, or I think my form material should be this. And so if you set it to 5.0, you start to pass it, the automation is going to make settings changes to adapt to your area. What that leads to is a holistic solution with predictive ground speed automation. You get 20% productivity increase. We're seeing 10% fluid efficiency increases as well, but you also get really good grain loss performance to your desired outcomes, and also grain quality as well. For more information, reach out to your local John Deere dealer. Visit Deere.com to learn more.